thinking about a suitable memorial for George Harrison in Liverpool. He was in Manchester today to appear on Radio 1's Mark and Lard show. Afterwards, he talked about how he thought his friend would like to be remembered in his home city.
I don't think he would want much fuss. I don't know, really. I don't think he'd think about it, to tell you the truth. But if he was forced, or if I was forced to give an opinion on that, I think some sort of meditation place would be the kind of thing that he'd like. Some place where people could just go and be very quiet and meditate, get away from the sort of hurly-burly.
The weather dry and frosty tonight, temperatures down to freezing. Tomorrow, dry.
True. And still to come on North West tonight, that interview with Paul McCartney. Amongst other things, he talked about the time he disguised himself as an old man in Liverpool to escape the attention of fans.
And I went out, and I sort of walked out, and I thought they're going past him, and the fans said, "All right, Paul." So I thought, that's enough of that. Didn't do that again.
He also talks very movingly about George Harrison's death. That's later in the programme.
Continue, and I certainly wouldn't have thought I'd still be playing, you know, over 50 and making new albums. But, you know, it's just continued, and I think we continue to have pleasure in it, and people seem to like still what I do, you know, what the Beatles do. So it's a great tribute, you know, to us, really. It was a pretty good band.
What do you feel inside, though, that there's a minibus coming up every day to the house you used to live in, and people going out, and it's now been restored to the way it was, and there they are walking around?
Well, it's very funny, you know. It's like you say, it's something we would have never imagined, and it is slightly sort of spooky to think of it like that, because to me it's just my old house. But it's funny, I went by there a couple of years ago, before they'd actually made it into the National Trust. I was just sitting in the car with my kids. I always used to take them around and I said, "That's my bedroom, and there's where my dad had a lavender hedge," and all of this. Just sitting quietly, and an old bloke goes past, and he says, "Yeah," he says, "that's where he used to live." So, you know, it's...
You've never thought of disguising yourself and going along and arguing with the tour guide about various things in the house, no?
No, I tried that once in that very house, actually, in the heyday of the Beatles. Disguised myself as an old bloke. I was in our 20s then. Put a sort of moustache on and so and so. And there were fans outside. I put an old Mac on. And I was going to the off-licence, actually, get some booze from my dad. And I went out, and I sort of walked out. And I thought they're going past him. And the fans said, "All right, Paul." So I thought, that's enough of that. Didn't do that again.
About the album now, Driving Rain, you don't have to work. I mean, you're one of the richest men in the country. I mean, what drives you on still at this late age, late 50s? I know what that's like. What is it? Why do you want to still do it?
I just love it, you know. It doesn't feel like a late age to me. I mean, you know, it feels like early age to me. You know, I never sort of noticed that bit of it. But I love it. I love making music, and I always said that as long as people like what I do, you know, if I do a concert, like I've done a couple recently, if people like it, and if it goes down well, and it sells out, and if I enjoy doing it, then I will continue to do it. And that keeps happening, you know, this is it. I think if I go to a show and there's nobody there, like, you know, it's one of my nightmares, people just walking out in droves. If that ever happens, then I'll instantly get the message. But, you know, with the success of the Beatles and the success of Wings and my own stuff over the years, still seems that a lot of people enjoy to listen to me. So we've got the new album, Driving Rain, and people like it. You know, it's got very good reviews and stuff. So here I am plugging it and doing shows like this, you know.
Well, can we wish you a Merry Christmas, and thank you very much indeed.
Cheers, and to all of you, oh, Merry Christmas.
That's great. Great moment for me, that was, I have to say, having grown up with the Beatles. He was here with Heather, his bride-to-be. You know her, don't you?
I do. We used to go to school. She was in the year below me, and we're on the swimming team together. And she's obviously good for him, because he looks great.
He does indeed. Looks fantastic. That's all for now. Good night.
Good night.